Showing the basic structure here, we have PVC end cap, 6-inch, around $7 a piece, and a 6-inch to 4-inch reducer. We've cut the reducer off and cut a 5 1/4-inch hole for our speaker, and that's the completed product. After we get done gluing the two together, it'll be double thick on the walls, giving us a little extra strength for our carriage bolt that'll be going in there. This is our roughed out cups. We need to sand these down. As you can see, there's irregular surfaces, and on the back there's little humps there and dots, and this is a flat cup. If you look around, you can find a rounded cup. I haven't been able to find it, but they are a little better looking. I've seen them in the 4-inch size. Here again, you can see that they need to be sanded down, and that'll be our next phase, sanding these down and getting them ready for painting. We'll be using Krylon Fusion paint. I've had good luck with it, and it's supposed to work good on plastic. As you can see, it says on the label, made for plastic, but I do know it sticks good. It's never peeled off on me. I'll be using an orbital sander. I've got a fine pad on it. Seems to work real good with PVC, and when we get these sanded down and ready to paint, we'll just see what they look like and kind of hand tune them. This is my 4th set that I've made, and I'd like to think that with every set I've gotten a little bit better. I've used plenty of glue, and these two pieces, you can see the seam there. When we're done sanding, you might not be able to see that at all. That's what we're going for. Here's a picture of the sanded cups. We're ready to install the hardware. We're going to be installing a 7/16 bolt with a 1/2-inch flat washer and one of these washer type nuts on the other end. We'll be installing that on the bottom of each of these, and we'll also have a small hole for speaker wire to exit, and then we'll sand. We've already sanded. We will paint these with the Krylon Fusion. As you can see, the seams are almost completely gone now, and this is all ready for painting. We're using this Vibe audio amp in the 2000 install today. Usually the PBR 300x2 Rockford Fosgate or the Cerwin Vega, which I've been using quite a few of those amps. They're good amps, and at $85 a piece, at the average price at Sonic, the Cerwin Vegas were a bargain. The PBR 300x2 is going to set you back $200. This Vibe audio amp out of England is a good 120 watt per channel RMS 2-channel amp, 30 amp Class D. What they call it a Class G amp, but basically a Class D. So this thing's going to put out some major power, clean power on an 8-gauge line. The only quirk I've found with the amp is that all the sensitivity, crossover adjustments, and all that are underneath the amp. And in a car install, this would be a problem because you'd have to take this amp up every time you wanted to change a setting. So if this matters to you, make sure your settings are kind of in line before you place this in, and wait till you screw it down until you make sure it's set properly, the levels and stuff. Here we're just using an iPod. My customer has a different iPod, but by using this iPod I can get a general sense of where the sensitivity should be set. And the auto on feature does not work on this on the low level, only on the high level. I was hoping it would work on the low level so we could get this turned on whenever the customer put his iPad in and turned it on, but he'll have to use a switch. We got it temporarily wired there to turn the amplifier on. Sounds quite well on just my reference box speakers.
So sweet. You know what she said? She said,
the amp is 5 inches by 8 inches. Actually, it's only 4 3/4 by 8 inches, and comes boxed real well from Sonic Electrics for $109. This thing listed for over $400 in England, and it's last year's model, so get them while you can. Alright, we have our speakers mounted on the handlebars, and our next step, we've got the wiring run. Both run on one side. On the 2000 here, there's more room under this side, so both wires were run down, the speakers down to here, and there's the iPod and the wiring. It's all run down into here, past the battery box. We've loomed it up for safety's sake, and then we've used some chrome loom coming in, and then We haven't got this finished out yet, but that's what our amplifier. Preliminary wiring here. We'll have to tuck these wires away for the customer. And there's the GBL GTO 628, 6.5 inch two-way, very good speakers, and they retail for $119. You can get them on Amazon for $55 a pair. 2-ohm speakers, great for motorcycle use. I haven't been out in the rain with them, but the ones I have are similar. But they're a two-way. As you can see, 6.5 inch cone. And on mine I have the tweeters mounted, firing on the windshield and coming off. Sorry for the dirty windshield. Let's give you some idea how these fit on here. As you can see, these are 1-inch handlebar clamps. I did not have the fancy acorn nuts on yet. I had to offset the speakers to make up for the fact that the bars were bent. So the end result is the look right there. Picture of our power supply wire, fuse wire will go behind the cover and fed into our bag for power, and along with the 8-gauge ground wire. And after we finish it off, this is what we get for the looks inside the box. And the amplifier install and the speaker install are pretty much complete. We've got to button her up, give her a test spin. I'm finishing out the install on this Vulcan. There's the speakers, the 6.5 inch JBL, the JTO 608s, or no, excuse me, 628s, and amplification switch.
Behind